Hey everybody, Jittery J here. Hope everybody's having a great day so far. Today I'm checking out the Ricky Gervais Show, Season 3, Episode 6. I can't believe we're already halfway through this season. This is entitled The English, and we're going to jump right into this, but first we're going to throw the original video a like and subscribe. Like, show support wherever we go, and then we're going to see what Carl's up to this week. Yeah, we had Carl's day last week. Let's see what he's up to this week. Anyway.
For the past few years, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant, and Carl Pilkington have been meeting regularly for a series of pointless conversations. This is one of them.
Testing. Is that all right? Hello and welcome to the Ricky Gervais Show with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant.
Hello.
And the little round-headed buffoon that is Carl Pilkington.
That sounds off a little bit.
The idea of Englishness and England, it's quite a vague term, isn't it? You can play loose and fast with it. I mean, for instance, I was looking at some quotes about England, and John Major, former Prime Minister, he typified England as being a place of...
Hang on. Let's see if I can find a better copy. Real fast. Okay, so I found a copy with better sound, but it starts like halfway through the first sentence that Steve says. So I guess we're gonna start there. Anyway, let's get back into this. This one definitely sounds better from what I heard.
Of Englishness and England, it's quite a vague term, isn't it? You can play loose and fast with it. I mean, for instance, I was looking at some quotes about England, and John Major, former Prime Minister, he typified England as being a place of long shadows on county cricket grounds, warm beer, invincible green suburbs, dog lovers, and old maids bicycling through the morning mist. Very specific vision of England.
But he never came to the estate that I was born on,
Sure.
or Carl was, you know what I mean?
So, what is your typical image of an Englishman now?
If I had to draw it for an alien,
Yeah.
He'd be quite squat, quite sturdy, sort of no neck, hairy.
Are you just thinking of yourself?
Do you know what?
Yeah.
It would be my build with Carl's head.
Really?
And no neck, yeah. I think he's sort of balding and unshaven, and he's like a shaved caveman. I think he's tough. He'd have tats. He'd eat like a dog.
It's the bulldog breed.
It is the bulldog breed. I am thinking of the bulldog breed. Yeah.
See, now my image of an Englishman is...
Okay. At first I thought he was describing himself, but then he had a Carl's head, and he had a tats and unshaven and everything else. It's got an imagination on him, hasn't he?
I am thinking of the bulldog breed. Yeah.
See, now my image of an Englishman is essentially that cliched one. It is, I think, Hugh Grant.
So you're modern. You're straight away modern
or
now.
I would say it's either mixed between Hugh Grant and Roger Moore when he was James Bond.
You see,
know what I
that's
mean?
another
Okay.
small percentage of Englishness that sort of annoys me. Those people that think they're James Bond. They think they can buy a suit and read GQ, and they're suave and sophisticated, and they get cars they can't afford. All they do is work in a bank, come home, and flick through GQ at the adverts, looking at people with wearing watches and aftershave. Who wears aftershave?
Do you wear aftershave, Carl?
Normally, aftershave is the sort of thing I let other people buy me. It's like underpants, tea towels.
Wait. Aftershave is something that other people buy him, like underpants. Wait a minute. Other people buy his underpants for him. Okay. I can understand if his girlfriend does, but other than that, I hope nobody else is buying him underpants.
Aftershave is the sort of thing I let other people buy me. It's like underpants, tea towels, and sort of aftershave and that. Other people buying me.
Who's buying you tea towels?
My mum.
Right,
My mum,
okay.
every time she turns up, she's got Brilla pads and stuff. I've got loads of them. I keep saying to her, I don't need any of this, but she always brings a box full of stuff. Brilla pads, tea towels, underpants. The underpants size hasn't gone up since I was 14. But I can rely on her for that.
So do you not have anything in your life which you would think of as being gentlemanly? Do you ever dress smartly? What about suits?
I bought one suit that time when you invited me to the BAFTAs. That's the only suit. I think I wore it for one other thing. I haven't wore it since. I don't feel comfortable, it's not me.
But don't you go to a wedding?
That'd be a lovely advert, wouldn't it? Him with a suit on going, I haven't wore it since.
I'm the same way. I don't like suits. I've worn them when the occasion called for it, but that's it. Other than that, it's a t-shirt and jeans, and I'm good.
But don't you go to a wedding?
That'd be a lovely advert, wouldn't it? Him with a suit on going, I haven't wore it since. Carl Pilkington hasn't wore it since.
I don't go
must have
to
been to a
weddings.
wedding.
No, I don't like going to them.
I agree.
I mean, even though you know them, they don't give you any time when you're there, do they? It's just sort of, they don't know whether you're there or not. They're on cloud nine. They don't know who's around.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You don't need
It's
to
all,
be there.
with them, on wedding day, it's all me, isn't it?
Well, firstly, I'm annoyed about the wedding list. I don't know when that's come along, because I don't know why I can't just bring maybe something I've made at home. No. Why has there got to be a list of stuff?
What newly married bride doesn't want a pair of homemade clogs?
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
But the saying that, I think people very much appreciate.
You say homemade clogs. That's messed up.
Doesn't want a pair of homemade clogs.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
But the saying that, I think people very much appreciate you being at their wedding.
No,
They do. They remember if you were there.
No, they don't.
They do.
You don't.
You don't get invited to weddings because you ain't got any mates.
No, I have. I've got to know enough people. Everyone's getting married. But they're always in the middle of nowhere.
That annoys me when people say, you come to our wedding? Yeah, fine, we're in Greece.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that drives me insane when you do go is when they put you on a table with people you don't know.
Well,
I
that's
got
it.
all my mates there, and they put because I got to mingle with some people. I don't care. I don't need these.
But that's what I'm not good at. Talking to people once. Talking to people who you don't know.
No.
What sort of stuff would you make conversation about at a wedding?
I'd probably say, first of all, how do you know them? How do you know the people getting married? And then, do you think it'll last?
What?
Imagine inviting Carl Pilkington to wedding and going, where should we put him? Oh, I don't know. Is there a table for one? Oh, just
You can at a table with the kids.
imagine being stuck with Carl Pilkington at a wedding. Yeah, what else? So you've asked them, do you think it'll last? They've gone, I'm sorry?
Do you think it'll last? Oh, that's that's a messed up question to ask at the wedding or at the reception, is where it looks like they're at. But this is
Being stuck with Carl Pilkington at a wedding. Yeah, what else? So you've asked them, do you think it'll last? They've gone, I'm sorry? Who are you? Oh, Carl Pilkington from Manchester. Right, yes, we think it'll last. What else would you ask? So what's your next?
The last wedding I went to, it's going back a couple of years, but everyone seems a bit snidey. Do you know what I mean? Because you've got a mixture of families there, haven't you?
Yeah.
And none of them really like each other.
No.
And I got stuck with an old fella who had a flatulence problem.
That sounds fun.
And then he went on to say it doesn't matter, the suit's hired. And it's just kind of...
I'm gonna die!
I just don't like him.
I love it. He's basically saying that. It doesn't matter if I shit myself.
Oh my god. It doesn't matter, it's hired. Oh, it's a rental.
Die!
I just don't like him.
I love it. He's basically saying that when it doesn't matter if I shit myself.
He just, once Ricky gets started cracking up, it's hard not to laugh with him, you know. It's really hard not to start cracking up at the same time. He's got that really infectious laugh to him. Especially when Carl really gets him going.
Maybe it's that thing that I don't appreciate what I've got. But to me, being English isn't anything that great.
Really?
Why not?
Because it's just what I've been dealt with.
If you could be any nationality, what would you be and why?
Probably be Italian.
Okay. Why?
Well, just yeah, I like the idea of it. I like it. Italians are alright.
Where would you live? In Rome?
I probably wouldn't want to be in the middle of Rome. It's too much hassle.
Have you been to Rome?
Yeah, it's nice to visit and stuff.
Yeah.
It's good. A lot of old stuff.
Why have you chosen Italy? I'm interested to know why of all the countries you've chosen Italy.
I was a late comer to pasta.
But it's one year round.
I like it now.
Okay.
It's like one of my favourite things I have. Which there isn't really anything like that in England. That even though it's
Well, except pasta.
Pasta's
No,
almost
but it's-
exactly like it.
Yeah,
but it's not.
We've got pasta, haven't
it's
we?
not ours though, is it? And we
No,
don't know
we've
how
got-
to eat it.
What do you mean we don't know how to eat it?
We do it all
Let
wrong.
you stick it-
You stick it up your arse again.
Look at me. I know how to fucking eat it.
No, but what I mean is, if you saw a proper Italian and they saw what we did to pasta, they would not be happy.
What are we doing wrong? Tell me what we're doing wrong
Well, I
with
don't
pasta.
know that, otherwise we wouldn't be doing
Well,
it
how
wrong.
do
How do you know we're doing it
how do you
wrong?
know
I've
they-
just heard we do it wrong. It's like how we have the coffee at all the wrong times. I ordered a cappuccino somewhere and the Italian fella said you shouldn't be having that now, it's a breakfast coffee.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Before 12 o'clock,
Yeah, but I was having it at like 11:15 at night.
Oh,
It looks
wow.
like
That's
a
absurd. How are you going to get to sleep with a lovely cup of coffee?
Yeah, that's
Well,
a good
adults
point.
sleep anyway.
You
yeah.
shouldn't drink coffee anyway at night. Full
I'm the same way. I drink espresso. Big espressos. And I can go right to sleep right afterwards. It's something about it is caffeine works the opposite on me. It makes me more lethargic. To where I can go through a whole pot of coffee and then take a nap. Because it'll make me tired. But it's weird how that works when you have like a hyper mentality. It's weird how medicines are different. Not medicines, I wouldn't say. I wouldn't call caffeine a medicine. I'd call it a drug, but different chemicals like that work on you. It's weird how they work with the imbalance. It's just messed up. But
Absurd. How are you going to get to sleep with a lovely cup of coffee?
Yeah, that's a
Well,
good
adults
point.
sleep anyway.
You
yeah.
shouldn't drink coffee anyway at night. Full stop.
So hang on. So you love pasta, but you're not eating it right. So you'd like to be Italian in order to be able to eat pasta correctly, even though you enjoy the pasta you
What
eat.
do you feel being Italian is, and what's
It's just,
attractive
it's
to
just
being...
very sort of, it's a relaxed lifestyle. Whenever you go to Italy, everyone's sat outside a cafe. It doesn't matter what sort of person
Carl,
you are.
that's all you do now with your spare time is
Yes.
sit outside a cafe.
But they get more respect over there for
Why?
it. It's like it's okay to do that. There's older people sat outside cafes who do nothing.
I
and it's
love the
just
fact that he
they're
wants to
probably
be
retired.
Italian so he can sit outside a cafe and get more respect than he does now sit outside a cafe.
No, but everyone's rushing about here. People have like colder coffee. They have frappuccinos here because they haven't got time to have a hot coffee. It's like they've got a coffee with icing so I can neck it. Let me neck and get on with my day. Relax, enjoy your coffee. I don't understand the rush.
But the reason you enjoy Italy is because when you're there, you're on holiday. That's why you're able to chill out and
No,
relax.
no.
When you say it's old people sat in some little Sicilian village. Of course they got no money.
Here, I went to the Salvation Army, right?
Why?
Because it's nice.
What do you mean?
You can get toast and a cup of tea for £1.
Go, you little skinflint.
That's just that should be the going rate, Steve. I'm surprised I haven't seen you in there, to be honest. But the thing is,
Where is it?
now just near Camden.
What is it? Is it like old people?
A lot of old people, mainly old people. And this is what I'm saying. These are people who are old and they sat in a cafe, but they don't get any respect. People are walking past and they don't want to go in. The way you reacted when I said I was in the Salvation Army, that's the reaction they get. Yet an old Italian person, they looked after better.
Well, it's certainly true they look after their older families, don't they? They
Right,
do
and
respect
that's
their
all I'm
families.
saying. Whereas, I mean, it's a lovely place, Salvation Army. Every old fella in there's got a tie on.
Yeah.
They make an effort.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, that's what I like about Italians and that. There's a lot of
So you want to be
Respect.
Italian?
he's got a point. You know, Italians are known for being more family oriented. I know on my dad's side of the family, we have a little bit of Italian in us. And it's like we had my dad had a huge family. We're talking 13, 14 kids, something like that. I think it was only one set of twins, maybe two. But anyway, he had a huge family, and mine was only, I think it was just me, two brothers, two sisters. So ours wasn't all that small, but still, it's I've always heard that Italians were more family oriented than most people. They respect their elders quite a bit more than we do ours. You know what I mean? Anyway, I forgot where I was going with that.
Yeah, that's what I like about Italians and that. There's a lot of
So you want to be
respect.
Italian because when you're old, you can sit outside a cafe and get more respect than you do here.
Yeah, look at the old people in this country. They never look happy, do they? Really? Most of the time, when you see them walking around, they go to pot. No one's keeping an eye on them.
Well, it's an important thing, isn't it? That my mum, this is when she was about 60, 65. There was a neighbour who was like, 85, 90. And my mum used to go around there every day. Do you want any shopping? Do it, right? But I remember calling her once and she's come back. I said, what are you doing? She went, oh, I've been around so-and-so. So I went, all right. She went, oh, she won't die, Rick. Like she's happy, yeah, but she's thinking this is getting silly now. You were meant to go years ago here. Well,
that's the problem, you know. If you
That's messed up. She won't die. Keeps going and going and going. It's the Energizer Bunny.
You were meant to go years ago here.
well, that's the problem, you know. If you get pally with an old person,
Yeah.
then you could be stuck with them for years.
And having to do stuff, you know, that's what you don't want to do, is it? You meet an old, an old fella, and then you've got to start popping in his sort of piles or whatever when he can't do them himself. You know, what do you do?
What?
It depends how friendly you are, though. I mean, I'm just talking about someone you meet at the bus stop, as opposed to popping the piles back in. How does that happen?
What in the hell?
Just the
I'm with Carl on this one. Jesus. I think I'm definitely with Carl on that one. I'm not even sure I want to know what Ricky was doing.
ones on the estate I grew up on. As soon as he got to a certain age, there was Mrs. Knowles who went mental. One day she seemed fine, next day she was chucking cans in everyone's garden. You could just hear her coming. Which was weird. Aren't you? Now you've brought up weird people. There was a fella called Shorts
no.
Man. Right?
Carl and his weird people.
Shortest man wore some shorts.
Now, what I like, yeah, he did, but they were really short. They were that sort where, you know, it's almost pointless having them on.
What do you mean?
They were just, you know, like shorts now for blokes. They go up to your knees, don't they? There's no chance. There's no accident happening there. There's nothing going to pop out.
Yeah. No.
But Shorts Man, he liked it. He liked the fact that happened. And he used to walk with big strides to sort of help the chance along. So that he knew, with the big strides and the short shorts,
Yeah.
they were going to pop out.
Did you ever see it pop out?
Yeah.
Why would you
everyone
look at the
did.
shorts?
Just because it was like playing Buckaroo. It was like, when are they going to pop out?
But what?
It's just what happened.
So right, but so Shorts man. So he was an exhibitionist. He basically wanted people to see his veg.
Yeah. And they were out more than they were in. I mean, they had a tan. Now, the thing is,
Oh, Jesus.
what we like in England, I think we like that. We like local characters.
The eccentric.
Yeah.
Eccentrics. That's very British. Eccentrics. Yeah.
And
yeah.
Okay.
I'm glad I grew up round there with all them people because
So
they're
am I.
interesting.
Yeah, I think Ricky's glad that Carl grew up there, just for the stories, you know.
Do you think there's a big difference, Carl, between the Englishman of yesteryear who didn't complain? I mean, he just got on with things. He might have whinged about the weather and the like, but he just got on with things.
He carried an umbrella.
Yeah. Whereas
whinge about
nowadays,
anything.
people are getting their Prozac and their antidepressants.
If
They're going
someone
into therapy.
Yeah. He kept out of stuff as well.
That's
Why
everywhere.
we're getting involved now in everything. Thoughts on that, Carl?
It's news now, isn't it? Sometimes I think, don't tell me, don't want to know. Just get on with it. Whoever's job that is, get on with it.
Yeah.
Why am I being told about it? When I've got a problem in my...
Right? He's got a point. I like the Ricky Gervais Show, the picture.
My job, no one else knows. No one helps me out and goes, well, I've got an opinion for him.
No.
This might help him. No one helps me. But I'm being bombarded by everyone else's hassle. They love talking, actually. That's what the English do. Talking, but they never finalise it. They love just being in a meeting room, talking, saying, yeah, we could do this, we could do that. I'm the only one in that room not getting paid. Everyone else is on a wage. I'm there looking at my watch, thinking, right, I've been here for an hour and nothing's been sorted.
Okay.
They're looking, thinking we can drag this out for another half hour, get us to lunch. That's what annoys me. They're all sat there just pushing bullshit around the room like dung beetles. Sick of it. And that's what the English do. And it's a shame, because I don't think we used to be like that. I wish everybody just sort of kept to themselves more.
Hi there, one alone and two getting on with it. I love it. Most
I
of
love
the time.
that it started off as some kind of poetic analogy. I don't know what that was.
Most of the time.
I just...
Oh, God. I like this thing of the Englishman I knew growing up was you had to... When you hit a certain age, when you hit, like, manhood or puberty or whatever, 13, 14, 15, you had to start showing your mettle. You had to be tough. I remember, right, when I first started going to pubs, right, so I don't know, say 18, you walk into a toilet, the urinals, and the first thing everyone did was fart and gob.
Yeah.
That was it, right? If you couldn't do that, then, you know, you get funny looks. You know, you go in the urinal and they'd look at you and go, oh, sorry. It was all about being a man, you know.
I think wearing glasses makes you slightly exempt from that. It's like you don't have to... People automatically dissociate. It's like if I was in prison, I wouldn't have to do that because I'd just be the professor.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
exactly,
Or brains.
yeah.
I wouldn't,
Yeah.
I wouldn't need to be part of it. I'm never
Okay.
a threat because I never look like I'm going to be a tough guy. So consequently, I live in this sort of parallel stratosphere where I haven't got a piss and gob.
Yeah.
Has that got more...
Yeah, but in a prison setting, you really don't want to be that guy, you know? Yeah. Once they know that you're not going to stick up for yourself, it's game on.
Parallel stratosphere where I haven't got a piss and gob.
Yeah.
Has that got more popular?
Yes.
Has it?
Yeah.
There's a lot of
What,
people doing
gobbing?
it in the streets now.
Really?
It's
Not
like
in, not in
avoiding-
Hampstead.
It still is, you know. When I walk
The only
in...
person gobbing in Hampstead is me. Jane says, don't gob. People are looking.
Well, it is. It's your trail that I'm seeing then. It's like a load of sort of washed-up jellyfish in London. Just big blobs of it. I mean, I don't know how they're coughing this stuff up. I mean, they shouldn't still be alive. Some of them have, like, organs in them. It's just big lumps of stuff.
Oh, God.
I mean, that list of idyllic, antiquated England of, you know, tea and cakes and cricket, I mean, is valid. But I think the things that sum up Englishness, I mean, talking of the weather, I think drinking, war, we love a ruck.
Yeah.
We're built on war. We're a warrior
We're
race.
pretty good at war.
Talking of the English sense of fair play and war, when the crossbow was invented, a lot of people wouldn't use it. They said it was unchristian. So our soldiers sort of resisted it. So Europeans got this thing that needed no skill, and it was shooting these bolts, and they could reload quick. And versus our bowman. What do you think of that? What do you think of going, oh, it's cheating, we won't use it, but having a disadvantage? That's honour, isn't it?
But what's the problem here? What am I meant to be worrying about?
Well, you've got bow and arrows.
Yeah.
They're amazing. They're heavy. Someone comes along and goes, don't worry about that. Here's a crossbow. Just pop it in, put it back. Deadly. Deadly, quick. Anyone can use it. So now you've got anyone with a crossbow killing people.
Women, children.
Anyone can use it. So the Europeans, they're going crazy. But we resisted it because we thought it was
Women and children.
unchristian and cheating to kill without skill. What do you think of that?
But where were the actual bows and that being made? Because that's the thing, isn't it? The company who's making them, they just want
Right.
to get out to a big market.
Brilliant.
That's what they do now with the iPod and everything. It's not about people wanting more music than ever before. That's not the case. It's about having the accessory. And if the bow and arrow was like sold as this, you know, light to carry for all the family, that's how it would have happened. That's what it's all about.
Ye new bow and arrow from Ronco.
Right.
But what do you think the problem
Yeah,
is?
but you're not quite getting Ricky's point. His point is the idea of there being sort of rules and fair play and etiquette in war. The objective is to kill the enemy.
I don't think war and that is a place to start.
Right, and he's got just like with them marching in file. That's one of the ways that that's one of the things that kind of counted against them when they went against some people, because not everybody fights like that. The English just basically overpowered people, is what they did, just by the sheer numbers. But but yeah, I get what he's saying about there being like rules of engagement, I think they call it now. Which kind of doesn't make sense if you're trying to kill the other person, they're trying to kill you, but you gotta follow rules. How do you know they're going to? That's the thing.
And etiquette in war. The objective is to kill the enemy.
I don't think war and that is a place to start getting all up to about someone cheating or having a better system.
Really? You think all fair in love and war, do you?
Yeah, definitely.
Right, but
It's just about winning.
isn't it?
No, not in a war. There isn't rules.
What's extraordinary about the idea of English fair play is, famously the approach during the First World War, that we would sort of walk up out of the trenches onto no man's land and sort of politely march at a slow, steady pace across towards the enemy. I mean, and then we were just being machine gunned down. I mean, it was absurd.
And that's the one they had a knockabout and stuff, didn't they? They took a game of football.
In no man's land, yeah.
What?
Christmas Day.
But he took a football there. If I was on the front line, I would not be getting out the rule book. I can tell you that much. I'd be going mental.
Are you saying there should be some rules or no rules?
I mean, you've got to have some rules, otherwise it's just...
Like Carl's way of thinking. If I'm on the front line, I ain't thinking about a rule book. I'm thinking about survival at that point. Yeah, well, my brother was in the army. He was a scout. And yeah, so he was way out. He was one of the ones that was out in front of the main infantry. And he said he got lucky. He got extremely lucky that things turned out the way they did over there during that first skirmish. But anyway.
Are you saying there should be some rules or no rules?
I mean, you've got to have some rules, otherwise it's just going to be like Grand Theft Auto, isn't it? I'm just going to go about battering everyone.
Yeah.
And you soon get bored of that.
Which rules would you repeal that already exist that you don't like?
This ought to be good.
It's a shame you can't tip as much as you used to be able to.
You mean in a restaurant?
No, just when you're getting rid of a mattress or something.
What?
So fly tipping, you'd like to see more fly tipping.
What do you mean? This is something so personal. He's fed up. He had to take something.
No, it's just that they used to put stuff outside the house, and just like you had mattresses, you had sideboards, sewing machines. The thing is, it was a good way of recycling. Now they say recycle, but we're not recycling. It's just being put in a bin. I'm saying if you've got old furniture, you should be allowed to leave it outside your house without the council going, move that, it's dangerous, someone's going to trip over it. Well, if they trip over it, should have been looking where they're going.
Well, what if they're blind?
What?
What if they're blind? That's why you don't leave things out in the pavement, because blind people will fall over and smack their face in.
No, because I'm leaving it. I'm not leaving it on the pavement.
Well, you just said you were. Where are you leaving it?
Sort of outside the house.
Where are you leaving it, Carl? You haven't established where you're leaving this yet. Because so far, a blind person's fallen over and broken his nose.
I've never seen a blind person trip over anything.
You've never seen a blind person trip over anything?
Definitely not. They're better on the feet than some people because they're more cautious, aren't they?
So
make it more fun for them, if anything.
Why can't you just have this stuff collected by a second-hand shop? Or
Because they don't care, Steve.
Boing. Bounced right back up. I got distracted by that guy.
some people because they're more cautious, aren't they?
So
Make it more fun for them, if anything.
why can't you just have this stuff collected by a second-hand shop or
Right.
Because they
send it
won't.
to
They
a
don't come,
charity?
Steve. Honestly, they don't. I've called up people and they're saying, "Yeah, we'll be there in an hour." And I say, "Right, I'm going to put it out on the street. Then are you going to come and get it?" "Yeah, we'll be there." An hour passes by. They haven't been. Suddenly, the
blind people
council
all
goes
over the
past.
on the floor, bloody noses.
And the council say, I call them up, "Do you want to shift it?" "Well, we might, but don't know when." "Well, it's outside the house now." "Well, you can't leave it there, it's your responsibility, you have to stay with it." Suddenly I'm wasting time sat outside the house with rubbish that someone else might want. But you're not allowed to leave there because a blind person might come along. What's the dog doing?
What's the dog doing? He's just wandering around on his own.
What's the dog doing?
Oh, God.
What do you make of St. George, the patron saint? What's your take on that?
Is he the one who killed a dragon?
Right. Tell us the story.
There was a dragon problem.
Where?
Must have been in England.
Right.
George took it on. He took on the job. He was like a rent-a-kill.
Like a what?
Now, the interesting
Hey, what did he say? Hold up.
George took it on. He took on the job. He was like a rent-a-kill. He came out. The interesting thing with him is, right, he was a hero then. I honestly think if he did that now, there'd be an uproar.
Right.
He's the last dragon. It's the same way we try to save the panda and all that now. If he came out and said, "I've done it," and they've done what? They've just killed the last dragon. They'd go mental. There'd be marches. Idiot, bloody idiot. And that's what
He's got a point too. Especially nowadays, you know, there's so many endangered species that we try to save that we're not always successful. But nature has a way of evolving, you know.
mental. There'd be marches. Idiot, bloody idiot. And that's what's interesting.
But it was going around burning people.
Doesn't matter. We shouldn't have killed the last one. It's the last one. And that's what we'd be like. You say you should have saved it. You should have captured it and put it in a cage so we can all look at it.
There's
and
no
stuff.
point. It couldn't have bred anyway. It was the last one.
Was it definitely the last one?
Well, you were saying it was the last one. I'm not bothered either way.
Hang on,
To
what?
me,
Sorry,
hang on.
whoa.
Whoa.
So
Right.
you think that there were dragons?
Well, what are we celebrating then?
Well, it could be a metaphor, a dragon slayer. It could be a bad thing amongst us. It could be a foreign threat. It could be things that threaten. It could be anything. It's not to be taken literally, is
But
it?
the real legend of George was that he was a figure who stood up for Christianity. Have you ever done anything brave?
There was a kid at school who used to have epileptic fits a lot, and the teacher used to always say, if it happens, grab his tongue. And I sort of had a go at that once. His tongue.
His tongue.
Yeah.
What do you have?
Yeah,
tongue
Caesar's.
for? To pick stuff up. What do you mean a tongue?
His tongue in his mouth.
Oh, his tongue.
Oh, his tongue. Right, go on.
And they used to say, if he starts doing it, grab his tongue and that. And I sort of had a go at that once, and it wasn't nice.
Well, how did you grab it? You grabbed his tongue, did you?
Well, I tried to. It's like grabbing.
I never pictured Carl with a mullet. I like that look on him.
It wasn't nice.
Well, how did you grab it? You grabbed his tongue, did you?
Well, I tried to. It's like grabbing a slug. And plus his mouth's going up and down. Like you think he's going to have me hand here. So you sort of do that thing where you go.
So you were trying to grab hold of the kid's tongue, yeah? And he was.
He's throwing himself all over the place. It was in a physics lesson. I sort of had a go, and then I thought this isn't happening. So I just sort of kept putting my hand in, like I'm having a go. But in the head, I was going, I'm not going to get hold of it.
What you could have used is a pair of tongs.
Well, firstly, I don't see why this is brave. kids have an epileptic fit and you're just supposed to help them out. I don't know why that's bravery,
Right.
but even given that, the fact that you were thinking more about yourself in that situation than this other kid, you were thinking, I'll make it look like I'm helping, but I'm not really. And yet there's this kid
Right.
having
Well,
an
I did
epileptic fit.
at the beginning.
Doesn't
I
that
tried.
sum you up, Carl? Selfish.
No, it doesn't. Because I didn't, no one else was having a go. At least I did try and grab it
You
at one
weren't doing
point.
anything. You were just making it look like you were.
Have you ever tried to grab a tongue? It's like chasing a chicken. It's murder. And after a while, it wears you out. And it was weird anyway, because it was like...
What was he doing it for?
I don't know. but
Wearing
I
him
love-
out after hours of chasing
I
this
love-
kid's
I
tongue.
love the idea of you ever tried grabbing a tongue. It's a valid question.
I love it. He's annoyed. He's annoyed that this
What,
poor
were you,
kid's
what
having
was your
a fit.
technique? Were you trying to grab it? sort of like-
Just with your thumb and your finger, like a pincher thing.
Yeah.
But it was because his mouth's going down and
Was
all
was
that.
he shouting or just...
No, just throwing himself around.
So that's your one
Having a
attempt at
seizure.
bravery.
Well, hang on a minute. Let me just think of
Trying to
something
grab a
else.
tongue.
There was a time you were chased by a bee and you scored a goal.
What about that?
That isn't really bravery, is it? As you were running away from a bee, and the ball happened to hit your foot and go in. That was bravery. I love it when he goes up to the pearly gates and goes, "Well, have you done the act of courage?" I pretended to grab a tongue. A what? A tongue. A tongue. Yeah. Got chased by a bee, scored a goal. It doesn't count as brave at all.
Oh, goodness. And again, it cuts off before the credits. I'm hoping that was the end of it. Anyway, I'm guessing it was as far into it as we are. Like I said, I'm hoping that was the end of it. This was actually the only other one I found. But anyway, this was absolutely hilarious. From start to finish. Like I said, Carl he cracks me up. I love him. Let me see something really quick. Okay, I just checked the original one that I was watching, or that I tried to check, that had the weird sound issue. And that was the end of it, because it went straight from that to the credits. So, at least we didn't miss anything. Anyway, like I was saying, this was absolutely hilarious. Ricky's laugh is so contagious. By the time once he gets started, it's hard not to laugh with him. But I never expected to see Carl with the mullet, but that actually, I like that look on him. A little badass, Anyway, that is going to do it for that video. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching this with me, and I hope to see you on the next video. I love you guys. Peace. Hey guys, make sure to check out one of my other videos right here at Jerry J.